Yes, my people, let me start by saying, for me personally, this has been the best World Cup in terms of the outcomes of it, right? Everything has went smoothly. Ronaldo left the competition, Mbappe just got knocked out yesterday, and the Argentina find themselves miraculously in the semi-finals. But there is just one thing remaining for me to reach ultimate utopia, right? And that is Argentina going into that final against Spain. Because when that happens, I will be watching the final as the freest man ever. I will not care who wins at that point, right? Because if Spain win, my boy Lamine Yamal wins the World Cup, it's fine. If Argentina win, of course, my GOAT wins back-to-back World Cups, which is an unassailable achievement. But anyways, speaking about the game, right? I was listening to an interview with Mark Gehi, where he was highlighting that Argentina are the ones that have the most pressure going into this game because, of course, they are the defending champs. Everyone expects them to do well. England, they haven't been at this phase of the competition. I don't know for how long. So for them, even if they lose, they've already overachieved according to their standards, right? Which is what makes England so dangerous going into this fixture, right? I mean, you could argue that two of their best players are both in their prime in Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane. And we've seen over the last few games that that is all they need, England. That is all they need to win games. But apart from that, you could argue that England, pound for pound, have the best players compared to Argentina in most of the positions. I mean, I saw a combined 11 page on Twitter of Argentina and England, and it's pretty accurate. There's five players that you see here from Argentina and then the six from England, right? But England have more on the bench. About Bukayo Saka, you have Rogers, about Anthony Gordon. I mean, they are not world-class players, but compared to bench Argentina, they are probably much better, right? But what's more worrying is that both these teams, they have a similar way of winning games, right? They do not play at their very best, England, Argentina. You will not leave either of their games thinking like, yo, these guys dominated the pitch today. They dominated the opposition. But they always find a way to win, right? And when you put teams like that against each other, it is very tough to predict who will come out on top. Of course, Argentina have the pedigree. They have Lionel Messi. They've been at this phase of the competition. Just in the previous tournament, they are defending world champions. But you can say the same thing about in England, right? In Europe, they are very competitive. They went to the final of the most recent Euros. In fact, the last two Euros, England have been involved in a final. So they are a team that can compete at the highest level. The only issue is that they haven't managed to skip that final hurdle, right? But now they have a different man in charge, a winner, a serial winner, Thomas Tuchel. And that could be the ultimate difference in their fortunes, man. I don't want to predict this one. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy a game of football.